And we're live. Not only live, but actually on time for the first time in Lord knows how long, actually. But yeah, that's quite an accomplishment for me, at least. Anyways, that little funny fact of trivia out of the way. This is day 154 of studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. Today's stream is a little bit earlier than usual, so I'm gonna see how this works out. I'll make like a post explaining more stuff about my schedule a little bit, depending on how I feel about today. But the gist of it is I want to have more time in my evening just to like be a human being and like spend time with friends and stuff. So I figured it'd make sense to at least try to bring stream forward, and it also helps me waste a little bit less time just like after my classes and stuff. So hopefully this is like a net positive on my day. We'll see how I feel after this. If I feel like dead as hell, maybe I'll like take a little bit more time, but I definitely want to bring the stream forwards at least, especially since I've like stopped really doing the LeetCode daily. So like daily reset time matters significantly less now. Anyways, yesterday I had to finish some CUDA homework, so I got that done. The day before that, the stream, we were going to do like spill code generation, but it turns out there were some like small issues that I had to deal with, specifically in the way that I encoded virtual registers. Specifically, we lose a lot of data about, I guess, size with those, and that caused like a couple big problems. So I think today and tomorrow I'm gonna spend stream just like fixing that up, and hopefully by the end of that we can I guess keep that information such that we can actually generate spill code in like a not messy way. Yeah, so I guess just to like draw this out a little bit, let's use paint.net because I love scribbling on this. So currently our virtual register, so I guess we have like physical register, it's like reg, and then a subclass of this, so I guess a subclass here in this direction is like virtual register. We'll just draw the diagram like this. And then a subclass of that is like constrained register. We'll just do that as an example. And then like there's like a dotted line like this, sort of, depending on how you want to look at it. But this might not be like technically correct. I'll probably just get rid of that. But so currently the physical register, this encodes like I guess a register num. So reg num. And then implicit in the, so this is either a virtual or there's like a literal physical register. And this implicitly encodes size. So we have like RAX, we have like RBX, so on and so forth, but this also includes like EAX, EBX, so on and so forth. So there is like this implicit size encoding in here. I guess we'll just draw this, a squiggle. Implicit size. The problem we're running into here, so the way we encode this right now is we encode all of this stuff inside reg, and then virtual register necessarily is virtual. But the problem here is we don't encode the size at all. So that causes problems when we're like trying to, I guess, retain information about what size a register is when we're like walking back through the tree. So that's kind of the problem we're trying to solve here. And then we don't worry about this because this just has a vreg, or I guess it has like a name and has like a constraint, I guess. What's good, Niraj? Yeah, I decided to pull stream for it today. I want to see if this frees up my evenings at least. I'll make like a proper post later. What is a virtual register? It's like a variable. Like it's literally just a variable that we haven't stuck into a register yet. But yeah, so our virtual registers don't encode size right now, which is a problem. got a note for 4,000 subs. Thank you all. But yeah, we don't encode size, so I'd like to include this somehow. Finally learned what move semantics are. Yippee. What's your understanding of it? Because I low-key haven't gotten like a very solid understanding of it either. I just know that like it exists, but I can't really like explain it concretely. Yeah. In the meantime, I'll start writing code. Get status. Okay, while we wait for WSL to do its thing, I guess. I should probably fix my debugger setup actually as well to also print variables. Let me add that on my big sticky note of to-dos. Or DAP. Okay, we'll just leave that there. Okay, we're good. Okay, get log. Yeah, okay. We were doing a whole lot of nothing, roughly. It's basically when you construct an object from another object's data and steal from it instead of copying. That sounds about right, yeah. I guess, like, very fundamentally that makes a lot of sense. Like, the way, the thing that, like, I compared it to always was just, like, tail call optimizations. What's good, John? Good to see you. Practice on new of them. Hell yeah. Okay. Where do my registers live? They live here. It's a virtual register. We need a size. So we want register, or we want data size. We'll do that. And then let's just, let's just plop that there. I think that's what we need here. I think this is fine. Because this implicitly encodes the size. We definitely want like a get size, I think. Getting used to the modal philosophy of Vim. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I feel like if you're used to like the sort of philosophy behind tiling window managers, for instance, or just like yeah, just like anything that lets you, I guess, stick whatchamacallit. I guess if you're like used to anything that like kind of fits on one screen, it'll kind of make a lot of sense, because like you want to, it's like, why look at second monitor when one screen do trick? And obviously I have like my own justifications for a second monitor, because there are some things that I shouldn't be like alt tabbing around, most notably like when I'm in a game, or like Discord, or like OBS when I'm streaming. But yeah, why don't you use namespace, using namespace stood, because if I do that, then everything I write is also in stood, and that's annoying. Yeah, pretty much what Niraj said, actually. That's a very brief explanation, actually. I like that. Do I need to do anything to constrained register? I don't think so, because we already have the size from virtual register. What do you mean? Okay, I guess I could draw a diagram. Okay, 800 by 600. We'll get rid of that. So when you're like, I guess when you're doing like a namespace, so you could do like, let's say I have like this piece of code here. So we have like blah blah blah, like blah 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 blah, like I don't know, like int main, and then squiggle something something something, return something something something. Okay, so this is like kind of, let's assume this is our program. So whenever we have a namespace, there's like kind of two ways we can I guess draw this. So the first is like the namespace thing that I have here, which is like a namespace with like a scope. So when we do like namespace, I guess foo, and then we do like curly braces around some section, let's say like we do it until here. So what this does is this namespace is valid for just like the scope that it surrounds, which like, sure, fair enough. So the other way you can use a namespace is with the using keyword. So let's stick like using namespace bar. And this is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's valid for the scope it's currently in. So in this instance, it would be global scope. The problem that we run into here is if we define like a function in here, for instance. So let's just like extend this down. Let's say we have like function foo bar. So if you look at the name, or I guess like the full name qualifier for this has like an implicit std in front of it. So what you can think of like these namespace declarations, I guess, is everything inside of it. Everything that you declare inside of it is kind of extended with that. Or I guess like if it's something you're using, it will like look inside of that first, which is why like this works to like get rid of like std everywhere. So like here, there's an implicit like bar here. Okay, let's make that legible. Here, let's just like here bar. And then like something in here, like if we have like function a. Yes, I'm using FM to deal with it. So here there's like an implicit like bar double colon foo double colon. So the problem is if you're using std, it's gonna, whatever you write is also gonna live in the std namespace. And that causes problems if like you have multiple different, I guess it just like breaks down the whole purpose behind namespaces, because then like you can have multiple things that are named the same and then also in std namespace, and like that causes collisions. It just makes a mess. So generally it's like cleaner to avoid, I guess, doing this specifically with std. Like here, for instance, everything I want everything to live in backend lir. So that is why I declare it like this. Any function you write when using std will exist in std for other files, only if you import it. And it's like, it's less that like like inherently causes problems, and more just like if a lot of different things live in std and you're like redefining a lot of things, it's very easy to forget that you've put something in std already, and that can cause issues down the line. I think there are like more egregious issues with it that I don't remember, but that is like the most immediate and explainable one that I remember. Okay, let's extend this out real quick. Let's get a get size. We could actually make get size something up here. Yeah, I like that. And then we can override it down here as well. Actually, let's put this like here. Yeah. What's wrong here? Oh, it needs to be virtual. Okay, sure. We'll fix that in a second. Zoop. Do that. There we go. And then I don't think we need to override it down here either. I think this should be fine just using the virtual register one. Yeah, because we're just returning the size member, so that's fine. What else do we want to do? I think that's all we need. We just need to implement these now. So let's keep this on this side. Let's go to operand. Oh lord, okay. I forgot I wrote this /pile. Let's just go down here. Which language? This is C++. Let's actually start with register. I think this will be a good place to joink that. So data size, register, get size. And then we probably want another helper. We should probably just pull out all of the register num stuff into its own place, actually, because it's kind of cluttering up operand. Yeah, this is kind of a mess. Yeah, I really don't like all of this living in here. Maybe we do pull it up. Which country? The US. I'm not sure what question I'm gonna get next, but I am on my toes and ready. Let's make register num dot cpp and then h as well. Congrats on 4K, thank you. MIT USA? I'm not sure what this question is. I was not ready for that one, I can't lie. If you're asking about school, not MIT. But yes, that USA specifically. Okay, let's yoink some stuff. Here, let's include register num. Yeah, let's yoink all of this out of here. So we have operand, we have immediate. This is fine. Let's actually just yoink these and put them in here. What's wrong here? Data size. So let's actually just slap that in there. Getting paid or just student? I wish I were getting paid. I'm currently in college right now. Maybe I should encode sizes and immediates actually. That might be. No, I don't need to. That is troll. Let's put this in here as well. Okay, let's just like reorganize this a little bit, and then all of this is a lot cleaner, I think. This just like cuts out a lot of the middle slush here. We will make a mess in a second, but yeah, let's get register num get size. Wait. Data size, get size. Yeah. And then we need vector. So we'll just yoink that from here. Yippee. Okay. We also need the pragma guard real quick. Okay, there we go. So we stole all of that. I think this is all fine from here. Like, this is a mess, but it's fine. We also need to update the getter, it just occurred to me. For get register. Yeah, this API needs to be fixed actually. This is messy as hell. Yeah, so we want name and then data size. And then I think everything else. What a pleasant sound. I think everything else is fine. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with this header. Let's yoink everything over now. So let's actually just split this vertically. Because y'all don't need to see like everything down there, but I will look at it just as like reference. We're yoinking from that, so let's yoink that. Include. Let's include register num. The header. The reason I'm separating this out, even though it's just used in this one place, is there's just like so much stuff in here. It feels awkward to not like separate out the concerns specifically. Okay, so what do we need? We want get size, so let's just like, let's yoink that real quick. Yeah, we'll do that later. We'll stick a giant switch block in it, and it will be great. It will be quite terrible, but let's yoink this real quick. Let's just do that. So that's 2-string. I can't select around the function. That's how large this boilerplate slash is. Let's yoink that. Let's throw this up here. What is wrong? Unreachable. That's what's wrong. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we actually just need to steal this from here. Maybe including unreachable is a little bit troll, but you know, whatever. Okay, so we have get size, we have 2 size, we have 2-string, so we just need to get all of these things, I guess. So let's just steal those. Let's stick them down here. Okay. I think this is fine. What the hell? Oh, I see. Formatting. Anyway, we'll deal with the rest of this in a second, I think. Let's actually get rid of this so we can like make a quick commit before I do anything else. What's wrong here? Oh, we need to update the constructor. Do you have a girl? Of course. What kind of a question is that? Okay. Actually, let's just do all of this at once, I think. Okay. I think this is good. We've updated the header here as well. This has just been a lot better. Let's start by figuring out the 2-sized thing, or get size. So we can just switch on RN. This is gonna be a really funny switch block. Just a high school student. Any advice? Advice on what? I can't really answer that for you. I mean, like, be a human being, I guess? I don't know, like... SAT? Do the prep books, just, like, study for it. Let's unreachable that real quick. Let's drop down here. What are some good resources for getting into compilers and learning? I personally, I like and have heard that people really like the book, Crafting Interpreters, that's what it's called. It's not directly like compiler related, but I think it's like a pretty good starting point, at least. Let me lock in for a second. After that, my recommendation is writing a C compiler by Nora Sandler. This looks very boilerplate. It is very boilerplate. Double word. When should I start learning this? I don't know, whenever you want. I don't think there's a great answer for that, personally. What happens if I get rid of this? Missing branch? Okay, yeah. Okay. So we can do that. Yeah, this code is very spaghetti. I don't like the way this is handled, but this is just like kind of inevitable, I think. I know some Python. That's a good start then, I think. You should probably, I personally would try to make something, just like any sort of a project, just to like get some more hands-on experience with it. But beyond that, I don't really think there's too much else you really need to do yet. Okay, so now that we've finished that stuff, let's get implementing the operand /pile. So we need get size for this, return, get size of reg, I believe. Can I $? Thank you. Does this work? Okay, that looks like it works. Okay, so let's get size. Let's change the virtual register constructor real quick. So we have the register, we have size. This size is size, I guess. Fair enough. Let's put this after name to be precise. Okay, and then we want get size real quick. Actually, let's just yoink this line. This is virtual register. Let's change all of this up real quick. So we can't use reg anymore. Luckily, we just have return size, and life is good. What do we need to change here? I don't think anything needs to change here. Oh, we need a size. So reg get name, reg get size. Yippee. We need to change this as well. Will I get paid good by studying or Python? I don't know, depends on the job. Depends on the job market. I can't really give a great answer for that. It's all a little bit confusing, at least. Oh, I need to update this data structure, actually. This is very annoying. So we need to make this stood pair. I think this is easier than doing a 2D map, so I'm just gonna let's do a 2D map. Let's just paste that in there. Here we want data size, like that. Yippee. This is just a mess. I definitely need to clean this up at some point, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is just also gonna be a very messy function. So name, and then we want size and that. Right? We want name size. Or we could use bracket operator. I see math is too easy for me. Cool. I mean, sounds like you should be good then. I'm not gonna like really say more about that. Let's actually get rid of that. I think that's good. Otherwise, so if it contains name, if it doesn't contain name, then or if it does, then we can get name. So then we can get name map, or size map equals virtual registers at name. What are you working on right now? I'm working on register allocation. The way I encoded my virtual registers did not keep enough information, so right now I'm updating that to contain information about the register size. And then I'll need to like refactor a lot of stuff to utilize that properly. We can do the same thing here. If this doesn't contain size, then we want size map at size equals that. Like that, and then at the end we want virtual, or we want size map, we want at size. Yeah, I think what Lane's saying makes a lot of sense as well. Your mileage may vary. Yeah. It's up to you what you do with the resources, but those are that's my recommendation at least. Okay, I think this looks fine. Okay, cool. Shout out the +11 minus 281 here, because we have so much boilerplate in other places. Okay, let's add some stuff. What's this? It's good to see you. So here we sized virtual registers and move regnum stuff to its own file. Keep seeing this every day. Keep going, brother. Thank you. I appreciate the support, and thanks for stopping by. What's I gonna do next? So a lot of stuff breaks now. So if we do make build, alright, let's make clean first. So a lot of stuff should fail in a second. Okay. Yeah, there we go. This is what we were expecting. Register num CPP. Oh, do I need to like stick an unreachable at the end of this? This is very irritating. Okay. Anyway, we'll do that in a second. Or let's amend. Okay. Here we go. Let's just like walk through every step of the back end until we have fixed everything. Most notably tree gen, I believe, is where things start breaking. We have this. So we have that, and then we have V. Let's get like size. Let's keep size somewhere. So we want like so we want from MIR. And we want the get type. Right? What type is this? Is this data size? Perfect. We can do that, and then we can give it size. Saved all my homework for today. That's rough. Do you play story games? Not really. I mostly play Valorant and a certain game by the name of Battle Nations. I believe some people here know me from Battle Nations, so if you are here from that, then hello. Okay, I think this is good. We can kind of reuse that as well. Yeah, so we want that. Yeah, so we can do that. Also here, we should probably put this after, actually. Okay, what else is there here? omreg. Wait. This is a binary op. And then resolve leaf does this as well? Where is this defined? Ah, here it is. Yeah, okay, so we do that there, which is good. Okay, so here. Yeah, so that gets us left and right. So this is like dest, I guess. Wow, this is very awfully named, actually. Why did I decide this was a good way to name it? Oh well, we'll just deal with this. Once I refactor everything, I think I will either go insane or everything will be all good. But I also keep saying this, so... Okay, actually, I lied. We're refactoring it right now. This is irritating me. But there's no good way to... Okay. Let's do size equals... We'll just... Where is the big size? We could yoink that again. Instead of V, we want I. Right? Or we want it up here. We do that and then size. Didn't know that C++ code uses the auto keyword now so often. It's mostly stylistic. I personally enjoy using auto because it saves some like refactor cost when I inevitably decide my design choice is bad, and also it guarantees that it requires your value be initialized, which also saves some debugging headache in some places. But again, it's all stylistic. Like if you look at some of my older code from like the front end, I'm like more explicit with types in general, I think. What's a good example? Maybe like here? Yeah. So like dear lord, this is ugly. Is there like a two-string visitor anywhere? Please tell me there is. Okay, yeah, here. So here I'm like explicitly using string, for instance. And like I'm only using auto for like things where the type is like truly annoying to type. But yeah. It's like, it's up to user preference what readable is. Like, sometimes it is nice just being able to see what type it is, but also like in other places, like if it's an iterator, like you probably know that it's an iterator. You don't care about it being that thing. Yeah. So it's all like very situation dependent, I feel like. Situation dependent and stylistic. Yeah, also what Lane said is correct. Okay, so we have size, let's stick size here. Yeah, this is very, very boilerplate, if it wasn't obvious. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Wait, is this the right size? Get type, ah. Wait. Oh wait, no, we already had that, that was fine. Auto with lambdas, yeah. Well, you can, I think you can like declare like specifically std function, but it also makes a mess. I've had to do that before when I've tried to do like a nested lambda, and then I realized that was like a really bad idea. So don't do that. I would not, or like I tried recursing on a lambda. So don't try to do that. I don't think that would be very, very conducive to happiness. Advice to study chemistry: get one of the big prep books and then just like work through it. And do a lot of practice problems. That's all. What do we do here? Okay, so we do this, and then we can just do like dist reg. We can get size, I think. Oh, that actually works. Neat. Is the job market that bad? That's day 154. I think like I don't think it's that bad. I know it's rich for me to say, but I mostly like, I do have an internship for this upcoming summer, but I'm not counting it as like a quote-unquote role because it's not like full-time. So maybe I'm like stretching the rules a little bit. Maybe you could call this clickbait. I think at the end of the day, I enjoy streaming a lot, so I guess it's a pretty good excuse for me to keep going, at least. I don't think you can declare lambda with std function, but I believe you can call one with std function. I feel like I've declared one with std function before. I think like it was in some crazy LeetCode problem that I was trying to do some like something that like Python allows you to do like nested functions. So I was doing it in C++ and I ended up having to use like std function to declare it at least. Yeah, I'm still in school. Are you doing research for internship or something else? It's at a local trading firm. They've basically given me like 3 months just to like, I guess mess around with their like compiler toolchain. So we'll see what comes out of it. I feel very behind for not having an internship. I mean, first of all, I don't think it's too late to find one. This is usually where like the second recruiting cycle lives, so like you can definitely log in. Second, I think if it's an option, I think an extra quarter or like an extra semester might be worth considering, just because it gives you an extra summer to work with, and that gives you more time to find an internship. And third, even if like you don't end up with one, it's not the end of the world. It's definitely not going to be like as downhill, or I guess like it'll be less coasty from there, obviously. But I definitely think there are practical chances, at least from there. Do you suggest books or YouTube videos for learning? I don't know, it's up to you, I think. Whatever works best for you. I don't really think there's a very solid answer for like Python, just because there's an overabundance of resources that exists. Okay, let's make build again and see what happens. Nothing is blown up yet. Oh, something is blown up. Where the hell? This is in tree tiling. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay. That's annoying. I guess we just stick size here, right? Yeah, we can do that. we can definitely do that. We'll just assume everything's a double word until proven otherwise. That also means we need to move this up, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll just keep doing this. A lot of boilerplate. I should definitely make like a better constructor for some of these things. Yeah, it looks like I'm writing the same code over and over, but this is kind of just doomed. Would you say your compiler project helped you get the internship? I think it helped a lot, but only because it was at a career fair and there was literally someone that was like looking at my resume. I think if it was like, I guess there's like two sort of comments I have about this, or I guess thoughts. The first is that like it is just like very largely because it was in person, so I was able to like talk about what I was working on a little bit more. And that also goes for like all the research stuff I've done in the past. And I think, yeah, in that regard, the flip side of that is like if you're just like sending stuff out to just on like application websites, I think it's a lot less helpful. But like again, your mileage may vary. Second thought is I think a lot of the benefit, if you want to just like look at things from like a purely strictly resume perspective, not even from like a pedagogical perspective, I think open source work will probably look more useful on a resume. Because like a lot of the large compiler tool chains that would be employing, I think a lot of them are based off of said or like a couple of large open source products or large open source projects like LLVM or like OCaml, for instance, or like Rust. Their compilers are all like somewhat open source, so a lot of the work would demonstrated work in those would probably help a little bit more. But yeah, again, your mileage may vary. I still feel like I got pretty lucky, to be honest. What was your SAT score? Good enough. I don't know how well it holds up nowadays, just because like college admissions has gotten more competitive just over time. It's definitely like really, like I thought it was getting rough when I was applying, but like now it's gotten like really egregious. So, I do not think it's a very helpful. I do not think it would be very beneficial to you for me to disclose my score at least. Okay, so that should be everything here. Or make build. Okay, what's the next error spot? Coloring. Okay, that makes sense. That, yeah. There we go. Okay, I think, so let's start with, this is actually very rough. I don't really know what to do here. Let's start with, I guess now we're getting into the actual like applications of the stuff. So if we like go here, we finished like this part at least. We finished this like size up bullet point. So next we need to flatten the sizes in interference, which comes before coloring. So there should be errors here? No? Okay, cool. Wonderful. Great. Oh, I should probably, maybe I should print sizes actually in my toString. I don't know. I'll add that as a note here. We'll add that as a consideration. I don't really think it matters a lot here. Is science asked in SAT? No. But I mean, like you probably, I don't know if they've changed it since I took it, so you probably know more about that than I do. Again, just like follow one of the big prep books. I think if you're thinking about it this actively, you'll probably be fine. Just like, I guess reading a prep book. Ooh, actually, something I was thinking about, maybe we could make like a isVirtual function. That could be interesting. Okay, so let's flatten properly. So when we add physical regs, I don't remember where this is. Oh, it's here, it's this little part. So here we just do all of the 64-bit physical registers. Here we need to size everything up, I believe. So that will be interesting. So here we want to make a mess here actually, I think. This does not seem like it's gonna be fun. So we need to update add reg, and we need to update. We don't need get size registers actually. You're making your own compiler? Yes. This also doesn't need to be a vector anymore actually. Let's rename this to flatten register. That. We also need to update this thing as well. Let's update that, or wait, change. It was T? No, it was R? Wait, what was the... So right now I'm doing change to close brace, but that gets everything before. What was the bind for inside of it? Or what was the one that includes the brace? Oh, wait, it's F. So change F, close brace. Huzzah, okay. Do you play chess? I was interested in chess for a while. I was not very good at it, but it was like very interesting to follow at least. Okay, so we want, oh boy. Get register. We want reg. Or we want, oh, this is gonna be messy. So we can static cast here to virtual register star your reg. So we want to get register with virtual reg, get name, and then let's just add like a size thing here. Which language's compiler is the most complex? That's very hard to say actually. So you like, the thing is you'd say C++, but then you think about it and it's like, oh, the OCaml compiler for instance, like functional languages, there's a lot of indirection that happens. So like you could consider that complex, but then like you could think about like Rust and then like that like sticks a borrow checker in and like there's a lot more like semantics that you need to enforce. Maybe the compiler is not as complex, but at least the tooling around it that you usually associate with a compiler, I think makes it more complex at least. Yeah, type systems are really freaking difficult. It's no wonder that all the PL papers right now, or at least the ones that I hear about, maybe it's because of the school I go to, but it feels like all the PL papers that I hear about are just about like type systems, and, like gradual typing, and you're like, what the hell? Rust uses LVM? Yes. Complexity for including breadth? I mean, Rust, I guess that could be fair. But there is also like, I guess C++ just like tacks on new features every year, it feels like. So in that sense, I guess I wouldn't be surprised if C++ just had a lot of stuff. But I think like, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of the compilation techniques are like, it's kind of just like multiple uses of the same stuff, whereas I think Rust has a lot more, I guess, a lot more different flavors, at least, I feel like. Which GPU are you using? One that is good enough to stream on. I don't really think it matters. Try adding a type system to my interpreter language. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's just so rough. Even just like, oh my god, that reminds me. So I'm taking a class right now called Pragmatics of Programming Languages. Let me just yoink this real quick. It's about like, well, the pragmatics of programming languages. So like instead of like statics, or instead of like syntax and like dynamics, which represent, I guess, what the programming language looks like and how it is executed, it focuses more about like usability and like how design decisions lead to like different different amounts of like user friendliness. So like we started with like We started with just like a very basic like toy language. Then we added like variable declarations, and then we added classes, and now we're adding modules. I've just been reminded that we are going to be covering type systems soon, and that scares me a lot. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to go over like just static type systems in 1 week and then like gradual typing in across like 2 weeks. I'm not ready for it. It might be cooked. It actually will just be cooked. Gradual typing is terrifying. I don't know enough about PLT, at least, to do it properly. Learning the theory from uni and online in books. For all the stream stuff, I have some background from a college course I took, but for the most part, I'm like supplementing that little bit of background with fresh online resources and books, at least. I'm mostly referring to advanced compiler design and implementation, but like there's also like a couple other books that I'm looking at. Okay, let's finish this up real quick. So we have size here. Okay, so that's the virtual case. So then this is just the physical register case. Hey, let's just get rid of that. Let's make this a semicolon. That seems fine. Let's change this to size. There we go. Some Python projects like vehicle number detector and eyes closed open detector keep making stuff. It never ends. And like if you're not going to enjoy making projects while you have time, you're definitely not going to enjoy them when you don't have time. So I think it's also a good litmus test for like whether software engineering is something that actually is interesting to you. Okay, so let's do. Oh wait, this lets us simplify like our same reg computation as well. So we can do this, flat second, this flatten, register second. Languages like Zig and C++ do type checking for templates by substituting, generating, and trying to compile, whereas Haskell or Rust try to be more sophisticated. That sounds about right. I think like, I guess that's kind of just like, I imagine C++ does it just like, as kind of like keep it simple type of solution. Like I remember like I'm just thinking about the way like C does macros, for instance, and it's just like literal like, or like its module system in air quotes, and by modules I mean like include, which is just a glorified preprocessor, and it's like, it is just copy paste, which is not like a true module. It feels like not a true module system compared to like what ML has, for instance. But it's like, I imagine like Zig did something similar just for like convenience reasons, which like also makes sense. That's like interesting to think about, at least. Do they hire new folks in compiler team? I mean, yeah, people will retire. People need to fill the gaps. That's what I'm hoping for. There's also like hardware startups, for instance, that will be looking for people. Let's replace this with flat first. C++ add concepts. Another language to add to the trench coat. I like read about concepts. I didn't really understand them. It's terrifying to me. The more I think about the amount of stuff that like happens at compile time, the more I feel like C++ might actually have the more complex compiler. Okay, let's fix same reg as well while we're at it. Watch the CPPCon Back to Basics video. I'll add that to the list. I guess I could even I could even watch, maybe I could do like maybe I could stream it or something. I don't know. My introduction to concepts was one of my friends is currently taking the compilers class at our school after like a 2-year late reboot of the class. And like he used like a bunch of he used like some crazy like template macros, and then like in like his initial design and like with visitor pattern, the whole shebang. And then after the class, the prof like goes up to him and he's like, "You should use concepts." And he's like, "What are concepts?" And then he's like, "Look it up." So then he looked it up and then he tried to explain it to me, and it did not make sense to me. Are you in Texas? I'm not in Texas. My location's scarily public, actually, the more I think about it. So I'm not gonna like actively try to disclose where I am, but like it's kind of scary. Okay, we need to change some things. So we have flatten register. Okay, that's fine. This is all fine. We just need to update like this same reg comparison. Concepts are cool as long as they don't get too complex. Yeah. I feel like the complexity is kind of just inevitable. It's kind of just doomed. But, I mean, that's how it goes. Concepts the counterpart like Rust traits? I think they're similar, but not quite the same. I did not completely understand. Maybe the resources were a little bit awkward, but yeah. What do I want to do here? Also worse, yeah, real stuff. Okay, what am I doing here? I guess we could leave this as is. I don't really care. We can just keep that, at least. I guess this doesn't really hurt. We just compare the sizes, I guess. Wait, what? Oh, I see. If they're both not virtual, so then they're physical. Yeah, I guess this is fine. We don't really need to change anything. Yeah, I don't know. they're definitely very cool. I'm just a little bit scared by them, at least. Yeah. Vim is a party trick? Maybe. I could agree with that. Insofar as like VS Code is also a party trick. Like, I don't know. It really doesn't matter like what you use, just as long as like you know your editor well. I don't think anyone will really get annoyed. Let's add some stuff real quick. Hey, wait. Restore stage. Okay, I typed this too much. So what we're gonna do, let me just make sure I'm not gonna leak anything real quick. Root bash rc. Okay, I don't think this is leaking anything. So we're gonna do this. Let's add a quick little alias real quick. How do I add an alias to bash again? Are you Chinese? Well, I'm in a very Chinese time in my life. Probably because I was born Chinese, but you know. Okay, let's just stick this at the end real quick. So this alias get C emit. I hope this works. Born in the mainland? No, I am an ABC. Okay, I think this is how we do an alias properly. Surely it allows me to have space, right? Ah, okay, it doesn't work. Damn it. Maybe I need to stick it all in a string? Ah, the space. That's annoying. Yeah, I'm trying to resource Basho C. It's not letting me. Ah, okay. That's annoying. Space in name. Well, that's really annoying. I was gonna make a typo alias. That really sucks. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, whatever. Let's get rid of that. Anyway, get status, get commit, generate, or update Excel with new register sizing. Okay. Yeah, something like one of my friends mentioned was that like he has a couple of like he has a couple of like aliases for like typos. So like GTI instead of like git. Or like SL instead of LS, for instance. I wanted to do that for like get C omit, but oh well. Can you share resources for modern compilers? My two recommendations currently are crafting interpreters and writing a C compiler by Nora Sandler. I think those are a pretty good place to get you started, at least. Yeah, I really should add the bot command for that, huh? Yeah, I mean, just like something like exclamation point resources or something. I don't know. That'd be a nice thing to add in the future. Okay. What was I doing again? Oh, right. Interference is all good. We need to update colors. So you want constrained, get size. Oh lord, this is awful. This sucks. Yeah, okay, this hard-coded size thing is annoying. I guess we can do something about it. We can do something about it now, actually, because we've unhard-coded it, but actually wait, we need to undo this. It just occurred to me. So pre-coloring in this instance, yeah, so we have color size, and then here with the color we also want color size. Okay, it's there, we won't do that. Yeah, this is inevitable. Grr. Wait, but this is already the size now, so we can kind of just like use that constraint at least. How much time would it take to study so that I can understand what you're doing? That's that's hard to give a good number for. I will let chat try to figure that out. But feel free to just like ask questions, and I can give it an attempt at answering it at least. I guess you could even like watch through my past streams. There's a wealth of content. A lot of it builds on top of itself. So yeah, maybe that's like good content to fall asleep to. I don't know. Okay, let's look through here, I guess. Let's check constraints. So if it's a return, or if it's not a constrained register, we don't care. What do we do with this? Barely understand other than a very high level fuzzy idea. That's fair. What's good, Aiden? 50 hours FCS background. I think that sounds... It can be done. It can be done. It might still lean a little bit ambitious, but I guess you don't need to like understand like the entire compiler as well, given the fact that I don't understand everything either, so that kind of helps. I think 50 to like kind of figure out what's going on makes sense at least. What else do we do here? So this is the color. We don't need to do that anymore, but we still need color size down here. So this is just constrained get constraint. What the hell is this? What is constrained again? Constrained register, I see. Oh yeah, we do need to size this up. Yeah, okay. So that's still inevitable. Okay, and then we get the physical register, we get the virtual register, that makes sense. And then color is the color. Okay, that makes sense. Get register at color. The color is the correct size, so that's fine because we're using quad word. Yeah, okay. This looks correct because these are just the colorings, and then we can go off of the size. We just want everything to be using quad word for now, and then we can like unflatten it when we walk back through with assign. Okay, yeah. So this is fine. This is fine. Can I learn this from W3 schools? That might be a little rough. I wonder what their compiler stuff looks like. But even still, I think they're not a great resource because generally I think they're pretty error prone as well. So it's hard to say. Let's see if they have anything. What is compiler? Let's not full blind ourselves. Okay, well that's not very helpful. Compiler design. Let's see if there's anything here. Ooh. Okay, well this is very high level. This seems reasonable. Very ugly, but very reasonable. Low-key, this is more than I know about the front end, but that's because I did not care about the front end. I guess you could read through this. I don't really know how much of this is useful. Yeah, like none of this backend stuff I think gets to the depth that I'm working at least. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is funny because I think this like very much mirrors just every single compiler's course that exists that isn't like the one from our school. It's like we have like an introduction, and then like we spend time on like parsing, and then we spend more time on parsing, and then like we spend more time on parsing, And then like at the end, I guess like cogen exists, you know, like what a wonderful structure for a class. I don't understand why this has just been how every compiler's class has been structured, but yeah. Like you spend like 7 or 8 weeks on just like parsing, and like by the end of it you've gotten tired of parsing, and then you spend like 1 or 2 weeks just like covering cogen, and it's like we've done nothing. Like, okay, cool, we've like gotten through everything, and then like the last week they tell you like Bison exists, and then like all of a sudden the first 7 weeks just don't matter anymore, and it's like what have we done for like what have we done for a quarter? Like, I don't know, it's PMO. I guess it's like fair if like someone is like just using LLVM, for instance, because like that handles the middle end and the back end for you, so like all you care about is just parsing, but it feels very incomplete, at least. Like, it would be like if a databases class just spent like 7 weeks teaching you how to write SQL queries. Can you check the content of Geeks for Geeks? Sure, I'm curious, actually. Let's see what they have. Oh, wait, that's what I clicked on. So yeah, Geeks for Geeks, that's what I just looked at. W3 Schools doesn't seem to have anything. I don't know. I would not recommend using either resource, to be honest, just in general. I think there are other places you can look that will get you more accurate information usually. Or just like make less of a mess, I believe. Okay, tricolor operand. What are we doing here again? Oh, I see. So this returns the, okay, I see. So we want operand, and then we want data size. That's what we were missing before, and that was causing a whole world of headache. Yeah, so we want to add this here as well. Yeah, this is format. So we don't want this anymore, which is nice. So we want that for the color. And then, yeah, this actually looks fine for the most part. Yeah, so we get the register with that name. We could just make this, Okay, so this gives us the operand. Actually, we don't need size in here. Wait, we just get it from the operand. Right? Yeah, that was the whole point of this, actually. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. Let's unhardcode this. Yeah, let's get rid of size. So that, and then we want constrained get size, I think, or no, we want, let's make this color size. Instead of double word, this is quad word. Maybe I should make this like a constant, actually. Let's just do this by hand for now, and then we can refactor later on once we get all of that done. And it feels good actually, like doing proper work with like a proper plan for the first time in a while. Okay, so that's the color, and then we want constrained get size. Yeah, so that's good for that. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So now we can do virtual register. We do need to deal with physical, I think. Or I guess physical we don't. If it's physical, it should already be good. Yeah, that should be good. I guess we're just doing this in a way that like we only do things if we actually need to change. Yeah, so we can do this and then color size. What is wrong here? What is coloring? Register, oh. Actually, we kind of just handle this the same, right? Now that I think about it. Yeah, we don't need, we can just do virtual register here, right? Let's write this out real quick. Right, so we want get register, because we need to convert the size, which is a bit of a shortcoming in the way that I wrote this, but it is what it is. Alright, inside of constraint, we want reg, get name. Yeah, so this is just the same thing. And then here we want color, or we want reg get size. Yeah, so this is just the same thing, which is really funny actually, because that means we can get rid of this section altogether. Yeah. I guess we could even just like, we could do a quick check if it's a register. Oh no, but then we need to, I see, okay, yeah. Because we need to cast it to a register then, which would not work as well as we want it. Okay, so we want auto color reg, or I guess color reg, I guess, or size, or size reg? I don't know. We'll just name it something for now. Actually, I lied. We won't name it anything. We don't care anymore. Okay, that seems reasonable enough. So then we actually get the size and like life is good. What do we need to do here now? Oh boy. Piano is just sitting there waiting for you, true. Okay, so we have base and index. So if base exists, we can do this and then... Oh, wait, this is gonna make a mess. That's really annoying. Let's just make a helper, which is like get color. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that might help. Size are hopefully quad word. Well, the thing is, some of these are 32-bit just for like LEA related reasons. Or when I use LEA for optimizing, so, uh-oh. we might have some issues with that. Hopefully that's still like valid code. We'll find out very quickly if it's not, but yeah, hopefully there's no issues involved with that. I might have to just like retile some things, and like it is what it is. Yeah, so it lives here. We want like operand star. This is color register, I guess. Or assign. We could rename that as well, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, and then these all use like, or we want virtual register, I think. Yeah, we can do that. Or we should make this. What type is this? Why is this operand type again? This should just be register type, right? Yeah, this should be register, I think. Or, yeah. Let's fix some stuff up. Oh, wait, no, I understand what's operand now. Because address, lol. Okay, so assign register, we can definitely register star. I don't know if this matters. Best way to do a 32-bit LEA, setting the result to 32 but not the inputs. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I'll have to fix that. That's something to add to the notes sheet or to-do list. LEA 64 reg. Okay. Yeah. So we'll just do that, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure there will be no problems whatsoever caused by my choices in the past. So what am I doing with this? What am I renaming tricolor operand to? I guess tricolor is fine. We can just like do assign register here, maybe. Yeah, let's definitely add this at least. Just found out my uni has a compilers course. Nice. Well, I mean, you know which class to smurf in now. Okay, so we have to figure out what to do with this. This is Flex and Bison. Unlucky. I mean, that's like fine though, as long as it covers like substantive content. I don't really think it matters a lot. Okay, so we have a register. Or maybe we could just make this take like a physical register, I guess, just to be generic with it. I'm gonna do register star. So I guess if reg get reg num, if this is register num virtual, then we return reg, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, we can do that. Otherwise, it's virtual, so we can virtual reg is static cast. We can static cast it to a virtual. Yeah, because this at least lets me simplify the code in the slush pile. I know I'm gonna be like cleaning up later. I'm gonna be cleaning up like LEA stuff, but I feel like this is a good safe choice at least, even if a little slow. Okay, so we want color, I guess, flattened reg equals, we're gonna get register with, we're gonna get name, wait, oh, not reg, virtual reg, get name, and we want virtual reg, we want to get size, like that, or not size, wait, we want, We can do that. I definitely need to define a constant, actually. This is getting kind of untenable. Okay, we're gonna stick this in here, actually. Where do we put this? I guess we could do like const expr register num. We defined a constant somewhere else. I forget where. It was in coloring, or it was in spilling, right? Yeah. So we want, okay, yeah. So we want to call this, like, I don't know. What is like the naming convention for these? Just like all caps? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna do lowercase for now, but I feel like there's a naming convention for constants. So we want what are we calling this again? I guess color size. Alright, this should be data size. Yeah, we can do that. Right? Oh, there we go. Okay. So now we can yeah. Just do that, I guess. Well, we can do that. I don't know. Let's get rid of that. So size, color size, color size. Yeah, something I've learned from my pattern where I tell myself I'll do something later and then I immediately decide to do the thing is it's easy to get sidetracked, but sometimes it's for the best. I feel like it's overall improved my code quality at least. Okay, we can do that. That looks good. I think this is reasonable enough. Interfere looks good. Yeah, that looks good. So now we can actually like look at everything that exists here. Yeah. And now color size actually exists, so that's a nice benefit. Yeah, I can do that. Or wait. Oh, right, we were working on this. Yeah. So we flatten that, and then so I guess auto colored reg equals, or I guess color equals so we want coloring at flattened reg return, we want get register with color, and then virtual reg, we want the get size here. What type is this? This is a register num. This is a size. So let's, oh, right. To size, that's what that was. Right? There. Size ed. There we go. First try. No work whatsoever. So So now we can replace some of this slush. So tricolor, we can replace this stuff actually. Yeah, so if this is a register, then we can just return sign register. We give it reg, I guess. Yeah, this also should handle physical, I believe, but just in case. We'll leave that comment there. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so size doesn't exist here, which is fine. So if base exists, then we want assign register reg, I guess, or base. Otherwise, no pointer. Oh, whoops. There we go. Alright, okay. That looks sane. That looks surprisingly sane, actually. I'm very happy with that. Yeah, here's like an example where I think concepts might be helpful. This visitor is very ugly. Okay, what else do we need to do? So this is virtual call, I see. So we need to do that. So let's pass the copy, we update the copy, we set args, sure. Yeah, okay. Okay, then everything else looks good, I think. Everything should be fine. Please. Please do not explode. Compiler implode. Ah, it imploded. Okay. Okay, liveness. Liveness. Oh, I see. Yeah, we need to update some things. Yeah, okay. One thing, I guess. And everything should be good? Okay, it looks good. The tests are gonna still fail, obviously, because we haven't updated them yet in an eternity. Okay, let's see if there's like something we can run to test. Uh-oh. Okay, good start. Let's fix this bug and then call it a day. Or all the bugs, if at all possible. Coloring 224. Coloring 224. Let's go here. I see the problem. I see the problem. Okay. Let's step through this properly, because I think we're just forgetting about sizes here. So interference should have everything flattened, right? So let's actually print interference at an earlier point. So like here maybe? Or maybe, what do we do with spill cost actually? Because I think that also matters a lot. Compute spill cost, so this comes from liveness. Oh, we might want to like I don't know. I guess spill cost across everything makes sense. presumably if we just take like the current range inside the lowest cost, it's fine. Even if it's not like optimal, it's still like at least something, I think. Yeah, I guess this seems reasonable. Yeah, the tier stick definitely breaks down a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is. Okay. Okay, I see the problem. we need to change reg, at least. But this is gonna be like really slow. Okay, we need to. That's really annoying. Yeah, okay. So we need to change a lot of, we need to clean up a lot of slush here at least. So it might be a little bit slow to do all this like pointer indirection stuff. Oh wait, coloring? Wait, interference or interfere or add register is wrong. So you want interference at flat register. On that. Yeah, that makes sense. We can do that. So now spill is gonna be a little bit awful, I fear. Okay, so we could do that. This is fine. So then, instead of reg, does this have the operand manager in it? Oh, do we have to start passing it to everything? Ah. Okay, all of a sudden I really don't want to do this. Yeah. Yeah, because this is very annoying now, because we have to like convert the register and all that shenanigans. Oh, what does this live under? It's just a thing. Okay. Yeah, this operand manager thing was kind of a mistake, I feel like, but not really, but also kind of really. I don't know, we just have to pass it everywhere, which is really annoying. Maybe if we like singletoned it, life would be easier, but I don't know, it is what it is. I imagine it also adds a bunch of like memory bloat, so yeah. Maybe that needs a garbage collector. It feels like I might need a garbage collector in some way. Okay, so we have this, we want to pass in friend manager. Today stream a little early? Yeah, I've been, my goal today is just like, I wanted to see if like an earlier stream helps make my schedule a little bit cleaner, because I've been, I don't know, it's just been like kind of annoying not having an evening to like be a human being, and that's like cut into my stream time, and I noticed I waste a lot of time before stream, so I figured I could try streaming earlier to at least patch that time. I guess what else do we have to do? I guess, yeah, we've done this. We need to like fix the consequences of it, but yeah. Let's see. This is probably a reasonable place to call it today, I guess. So we've done this. We could do like fix rest of regelock. Spill using correct using size registers. What else? I don't know. We'll do that for now. Hey. Let's add Is that all of interference? Let's do that at least. What did we change here? We changed that. Can I get CS major by SAT score only? I mean, that just depends on the college you're applying to. Like, some schools will just only look at that. A lot will look at everything else in your application as well. So I can't really say much more about that. Let me change some coloring. I guess we also, yeah, okay. Okay. Liveness. What about Northwestern? They definitely look at extracurriculars and a lot of other stuff outside of school. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not an admissions person, so I can't really give the best advice. But you definitely want a strong application all around, other than just test scores. As a matter of fact, I believe the application process for a lot of top schools in the US are designed to specifically weed out people that only have good test scores, because they're looking for like complete people. And like from the admissions officer's perspective, like they're trying to build a community, right? So I'm not really sure what culture would be like if all they looked at were just people that had their nose in the books, at least. It would not be a fun time for people, which is kind of the community they're trying to encourage, at least. Okay, so here we update interference to use colors. Or use size flattened colors. What are you building? I'm making a compiler from C to x86-64. C++ is kind of I guess it's what I would end up calling my main language now. So it's kind of turned into that. The series has encouraged me to start my own compiler project. Ooh. Took a uni course which covered primarily front end, fair enough. Any advice to learn more complex topics? There's plenty of textbooks, I think. I think engineering a compiler has a pretty good like overview in terms of like what exists in like the middle end and the back end. Advanced Compiler Design and Implementation is another book. It's like very, very in-depth in the middle end and the back end. Those might be some interesting places to look, at least. Yeah, they're pretty common, at least. I imagine just like the way a lot of courses are structured are just very front-end heavy, and it is what it is. I guess we can blame the Dragon Book for that collectively. The big compiler book that I've been recommending to people is Writing a C Compiler by Nora Sandler. That might also be worth a look if you want something that's like not necessarily like handholdy, but like very directed, at least. Directed in terms of like what to work on. Like if you wanted to like make like if you wanted to like follow some sort of a not really tutorial, but I guess like a course in air quotes. I think it makes the most sense out of most of the resources I've looked at. Let's see, let's add this stuff real quick. We need operand manager and spill now. Format, damn it. Okay. Zoop. There we go. What's your take on how hard it might be to implement a Ruby-style yield mechanism that sends a value to a block? I don't think it'd be like... I don't think it'd be theoretically that difficult. I feel like that mostly just exists in the front end, at least. I imagine it's not much different than generating control flow. You just have to like handle it a little bit differently. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I imagine it might make a mess, it might not. But it doesn't seem that hard facially. Like you just have to like store like, you have to like store a different return address, I guess, in a way. And like you'd like maybe make a mess with calling convention, but I think it'd be interesting at least. With all this AI quickly improving, do you think it's worth learning stuff like low-level stuff and engineering foundations? I think it's especially, well, I think both are important at least. I think foundations are still important because that teaches you what to do with AI tooling. But learning to build and failing fast are also just like generally important as well, just like from a general skills perspective. Okay, let's figure out what else we need here. So we want that. We want. We can worry about that in a second. I think assignment should be fine now. Maybe spill? Did something change in here? I don't think so. Interference is fine, coloring. Let's maybe look through this. We need to look at the registers differently, I think. Oh wait, no, we're working with interference, so this will be fine. Will you play Val with me? Ask about it later. I might try to get like a Valorant thing going in the server. Maybe I will, maybe I'll not. We'll see. It might be funny. Okay, so this makes a coloring. I think that's fine. This all should theoretically be fine. What? I think that's all I need to change. Spill flatten sizes, replace, or fix assignment, or use bold sizes in assignment. I think we already changed that though. I think, yeah, maybe this is all we need then. I don't know. We'll worry about this next time. How long have you been programming? I technically started writing code in like elementary school, but I don't think I really seriously like quote unquote programmed until college. So I guess take what answer you will from that. If you assume college, that's like a little bit over like 3.25 years. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call the stream today here today. We got a pretty good chunk of the refactor work done. Next time, I think I will just like finish Regilock. It might be a short stream, and then the stream after that will be a lot of fun. We will do a lot of spill code stuff. Maybe we might print like sizes. I'm not sure. That's something I need to think about. Anyways, thank you all so much for showing up today. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream and sub to the channel. It really helps out with the algorithm and gets my content out to more of you. I'll try streaming at like this earlier time more, to be honest. I feel like it makes my schedule a little bit easier, and I just enjoy having the evening. I'll make like a more formal post about that. While you're down there in the description, make sure you join the Discord. It's the best place to get pinged when I go live and chat with everyone else in the community. Everyone is quite nice. Greetings from Bogota. Ooh, wow. Everyone is just from like everywhere in the world. It's so cool. That's another country to add to. Colombia is another country to add to the checklist. Yeah. Also in the description is my LinkedIn and my LinkedIn and my GitHub. Feel free to add me on those. And of course, my gift sponsors is there as well. Feel free to donate if you wish to give me money, but there's no obligation. Take care, y'all. Take it easy. And have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are.